Hey everyone, I'm back doing some more beginner series videos. On my previous one, I asked for some suggestions, and Mike Hedrick suggested that I do one on reversing your motors. And I wanted to expand on that a little bit, so I'm going to do a couple videos about that. But I think what he was getting at was just the fact that some motors come with counterclockwise motors and clockwise motors, and some motors don't. So let's look at the basics of this. My very first quadcopter I got that was 4S capable was a Walkeria Furious 215, which was pretty decent. It came with two clockwise motors and two counterclockwise motors, and we're talking about looking at them from the top. Does it spin this way, or does it spin this way? And on your normal quadcopters, you're going to have two that are going clockwise and two that are going counterclockwise, depending on how your aircraft is configured. The reason, and this was a point of confusion for me, I don't know if you can see that on there, but this motor is rated to go counterclockwise. This motor is, I guess not rated is the proper thing, but it has a stamp on there that said it's a clockwise motor. It's counterclockwise and clockwise. The only difference, and I thought maybe there are some clocking differences or anything like that. No, the only difference is that it's the direction that the nut thread's on there. So on the one that's stamped counterclockwise here, you can see that this nut screws on in the direction that you're used to, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, or whatever, clockwise, counterclockwise. So I'm turning that on counterclockwise, it's coming off. And on the other side, if you have these clockwise motors, you'll have to go counterclockwise to tighten, and you'll have to go clockwise to loosen. And the reason for that is that when there's a propeller on there adding drag to the equation, if the motor's going clockwise, the prop is dragging counterclockwise and trying to loosen the nut. So this alleviates that, so it's always trying to tighten the nut. It's not a bad idea, but it's kind of a hassle to have two different styles of nuts. If you lose one, I don't know. I don't even know where you get. I guess you could order online. You could order these counterclockwise or reverse threaded nuts for your motors. So if you're into that, that's fine. But most motors don't come with it. Like I like these hype train motors, and they don't mention anything about clockwise, counterclockwise. They're just type train motors. The nut always goes on clockwise like you would expect it to. They come with lock nuts. You can see there's a nylon insert in there that makes it difficult to, once you hit on that, you can feel it when you're tightening it on. It's harder to get it down, so it doesn't want to come loose easily. So as long as you have a lock nut on there, it's really not that big of a deal whether your motors are going clockwise or counterclockwise, because the lock nut will keep it tight. Now I have had some times when I've crashed, and the ones that are going clockwise have a tendency to loosen themselves a little bit. So I just carry this in my pocket and make sure they're all tight every time I crash. That's my intention anyway. Sometimes I forget. All of these motors are designed to go either way. They're not directional. Neither are these even. I can reverse these. There's two easy ways. I don't know if they're easy or not, but you tell me. There's two ways that you can reverse these motors. If you find when you assemble your quadcopter that if this motor's on there and it's going the wrong direction, you can actually reverse any of these two wires on here. Just desolder them and then switch any two of them around, actually, and that will reverse the direction of your motor. So that's a hardwiring way to do it. And the reason for that is that these three wires are a three-phase AC signal that your ESC is sending to the motor to make it move. So if you reverse any two of these, the phasing will be backwards, and it will go the opposite direction. So that's cool. If you want to dig in there and break out your soldering iron, you can do that. The other way to do it is to go into, and I've got everything hooked up here, you can go into your BL Heli configurator, connect it to your quadcopter like I have here. You'll need to have the battery on there. Do make sure that your props are off. Go in here, read the configuration from it, and then you can see if I wanted it to be reversed, I can reverse it here. Or I can leave it normal and then write the setup. So if we close this and then go to the BetaFlight configurator, so you can see that I do have my props off here. I think that's motor number 3. Yeah. So you can see right now it's going counterclockwise. Hopefully you can see. I'll try to get it slow. You can see that it's going counterclockwise. In this case, that's the direction I want it to go. But if it was not, you could go to your BL Heli configurator, connect to it. And we're talking about motor number 3 here. Reverse it. Write the setup. Go back into BetaFlight. Let's see if it reversed. It sure did. It's going clockwise now. So, I mean, you could just do it that way. So that's all I have on this video. I'm trying to cut the length of these down so that they're not, I don't know, it's kind of daunting to me to look at a video that's 25 minutes long and try to commit to watching it. So I'm going to try to keep these a little bit shorter for ADHD people like me. And that's it. I'll see you next time. I do want to talk in the next video or one of the coming videos about reversing all of your props and the advantages and disadvantages of doing that. I'm finding that there might be some aerodynamic advantages. I know that there's advantages like not kicking crap into your camera, that kind of thing. So hopefully I'll see you in that video. Take care.